Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hector. I have a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Texas at San Antonio, and I'm also a certified SolidWorks associate. Some of my favorite hobbies include walking my dog Jessie, eating Oreos, and I'm also a white belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Autism is a series of neurological disorders that affect the brain, that cause impairment in socialization skills. Autism has affected me since I knew of it when I was 5 years old, and I really struggled in different areas, such as talking to people, looking at people in the eyes, and getting really upset if something within my structure, like a schedule, would be broken. But a lot of the advantages that came with autism were that I was able to study for long periods of hours, and although it took me longer time to understand something, I eventually understood it, and when I understood it, I was really great at it.
We found out that Hector had autism probably when he was 5 years old. Had no idea what autism even meant. It took a lot of researching, learning. He was our first child. School was a challenge. It really was my husband behind it, and my father. School always told us Hector wasn't going to graduate or actually pass the standardized test that they take. They told us he will never be able to do it. My husband pretty much said that nope, that's not how it's going to be. My son is going to graduate. It was a lot of patience and pushing and finding different ways to teach him, to make it fun. We did have a lot of pushback from the schools because they have not seen a child with autism go the route that we wanted Hector to be or to go.
Some of the challenges that I had to overcome during the time I was growing up in school and with college were, I've had a lot of individuals tell me that perhaps engineering wouldn't be a good fit for me. How I resolved that issue is by not caring about what those people told me. I've had teachers and professors all the time tell me, Hector, this is probably not a good option for you. A tutor isn't a good option for you. An engineer is probably not a good option for you. Or taking advanced classes in high school is probably not a good option for you. I wanted to always think positively about it and say, hey, how can I do this? Because ultimately what they thought was just an opinion, and that's okay. We have different opinions. My viewpoint was different in that regard because I thought, hey, if I push myself and if I challenge myself, I'll eventually be able to pursue my desired task. And with that inspiration and with inspiring myself, I was able to succeed high school, succeed in college, and also pursue anything that I wanted to do.
Fast forward, we went into high school. Hector graduated on an advanced degree for high school, got into college, and the struggle in college was high school times 3. It was a lot of challenge just because he had decided to pursue a career that it was very hard for neurotypicals, and having somebody with autism even think that they could do something like this. We had a lot of pushback, not only from teachers, but even the Disability Center at the university.
A lot of the students in my mechanical engineering program at UTSA had SolidWorks drawing experience, and I was looking at the assemblies that they were doing on the computer, which I thought, wow, this is really cool. I really want to be able to learn how to do this stuff.
When he came back to me with SolidWorks and how he was challenged with SolidWorks and how frustrating it was with the school, he enrolled in different classes in the school, and he was looking at his peers doing all these cool designs. He was extremely frustrated. But he said, I'm going to learn SolidWorks.
I was wondering, I asked the tutor, hey, how can I get SolidWorks knowledge? And so he told me about the Introduction to SolidWorks class at my school. I took the class and I thought it was okay, but it didn't quite help me be at the level I wanted to be for a career. And so I found a school known as GoEngineer. And so I decided to call them, contact them, and say, hey, how can you put me into some classes? At that moment, wasn't familiar with SolidWorks. I felt a little bit frustrated about it. But then my mom contacted this really cool guy named Nash.
So Nash told me, hey, let me put a plan together. We have these courses. The class was actually in Houston. It was over Eastern week, I think it was. And I took a whole week off. We got a hotel and we stayed a whole week in Houston. When we came back home, Hector wanted to quit SolidWorks. He did not want to do SolidWorks. He was completely lost. Well, I had already invested, the money and the time, and then I also knew that Hector was not feeling great about himself because it was a challenge that he wasn't successful at it. And again, my job as a parent, not only because he has autism, but also as a parent in general, is make sure that my kids pursue their dreams. And I knew that SolidWorks is something that Hector really wanted to learn. So I called Nash and I said, hey Nash, this is happening with Hector and he's about to quit. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. But deep down inside, I know he loves this. Next step, fast forward on all the conversations with Nash, Hector comes back to me and tells me, I met this amazing guy, Mom. I'm not quitting SolidWorks. And he was talking about Dave.
I was introduced to Hector a little over a year ago. I got a call from Nash Allen. Nash said that he had a customer that needed some help. And so I got on the phone with Hector. I remember our first phone calls, and then Hector told me his goals and what his desires were. And immediately in the first conversation, I knew that this was going to be a fun experience and something that I was wanting to do.
He's helped me in more ways than I can imagine. He was there every step of the way, every step of the process, and he showed me in his own time where he could have been with his family or he could have been doing something else. He took the time to help me understand how to draw, how to assemble, how to make different features, how to make different cuts. He did a step-by-step process for SolidWorks to be able to prove your ability with the system. You have to take different levels of examinations and certifications. One of them is the CSWA, Certified SolidWorks Associate. And it's an exam that tests your basic knowledge of drawing parts, features, and being able to perform basic assembly of different objects. I think the SolidWorks certification, the associate one, was very fun to take because I used to love playing Legos. I have different Lego models, and it's like joining the pieces together. And so I like to think of it as a Lego game that you can play on the computer. SolidWorks has actually helped me a lot. They helped me by allowing me to have extra time on the test. That was one of the big things that helped me out because I tend to process things a little bit slowly, and so having more time is one of the accommodations that helped me the most. When I passed the CSWA, I felt ecstatic. I felt like this big weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I thought to myself, wow, I can actually take more certifications. So my next thought was, how can I get into a professional class?
Working with Hector was a privilege, first and foremost. I know he got some stuff out of it, but personally I gained a lot out of it as well. Seeing Hector's progress was so inspirational. One thing I tell my daughter is never be outworked. And I saw this incredible work ethic from Hector that just inspired me to want to do more with my career. And it's inspired me over the last couple months to go after a bunch of certifications on my own. So Hector has inspired me to be a better teacher, but personally, to never be outworked and to apply that not only to my training, but to my business profession as well.
It was a journey. It definitely was a journey where we needed to have the support of anybody that wanted to give us a hand. And in the world of autism, there is probably, as a parent, you find more people telling you what your kid cannot do versus what your kid can do. People that don't really want to take the time to give them the benefit of the doubt, there's more of those. And there is very little of Dave out in the world. So we will always be grateful for that.
Never give up on yourself. Never give up on other people that you love. Just push forward. And as Rocky Balboa says, the world ain't all sunshines and rainbows. It's a cold, mean, nasty place, and it'll beat you to your knees unless you know how to take it, how to take a hit, how to keep moving front, how to keep moving forward. That's how winning's done.